All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's reports coming in of uh, uh, two planes crashing uh, in Scottsdale, Arizona. Let's check it out.
And then careened into a business jet, closing Scottsdale Airport.
Fox 10 Steve Nielsen is on the scene tonight with the latest details. Steve, at the news conference that happened about 30 minutes ago, they said someone was still inside. They were trying to get out, right?
Yes, and using Scottsdale Fire's terminology here, they just described that person as a soul aboard. Scottsdale Fire didn't answer any questions. They just tried to get as much information out as possible in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then they had to go back to the scene, continue to work it right now. They still categorize this, obviously, as an active scene. As we take a look, you'll see why. The thing that has just changed here in the last 5 minutes, before we were seeing these live pictures, the two tails of the planes were pretty much right next to each other after they collided. They were able to just tow or drive or pull one of those planes, the one on the left, away. So now we're just seeing that one plane there. The reason they're doing all of this is because they're still trying to get that soul off board one of the planes. They said that person was still stuck inside. The terminology, they're trying to save that person there. That was what we heard from Scottsdale Fire. What they have told us so far here from the FAA about the mechanics of how this crash took place is that as one of these planes was landing, they veered off of the runway and collided with another plane. Let's listen in to Scottsdale Fire again just a short time ago in their news conference, their brief update with us, what they were able to tell us about how they're trying to handle this recovery as it's happening.
I can tell you that we have 5 souls, 1 DOA, 2 immediates that have been transported to local trauma centers, 1 delayed stable to a local hospital. And this is a still active scene. We're still working on extricating 1 soul out of one of the airplanes.
That was Captain Dave Folio with Scottsdale Fire. He went on to describe that soul still aboard one of the planes as they were trying to still save that person. That was what was said later on in the news conference. To describe some of the other terminology that was used there, DOA, that means dead on arrival. 1 person has lost their life here. 2 of them immediately taken to the hospital. That means they have very serious injuries. 1 of them delayed, still injured. Typically in a situation like that, it wouldn't be a life-threatening injury. Just to describe what's going on, I will tell you this. There is a smell of fuel in the air here. We're not that close to where this scene is. I mean, we've got a little bit of pavement between us, and we can absolutely still smell that. Something else you can see here away from these planes is landing gear on the runway. We talked with one witness, a man who actually says he owned the plane that crashed a number of years ago. He's in airplane sales, and he sold that plane back in 2005. He witnessed the crash happened. He said that there was an issue with the landing gear during the landing, that the landing gear collapsed. Let's listen to him describe what took place.
I saw the Lear 35 coming down with the left main gear collapsed, the nose gear partially collapsed, and watched it slide off the runway from center of the runway to the left. And we knew, based on the speed, that it's heading towards a building or something over here. So we left the office and came over to see what happened, and the guy did a Gulfstream 200.
And back live to the scene here out in Scottsdale. I will tell you this. When we first arrived, we arrived shortly after this crash. We were nearby. We saw Scottsdale firefighters running with jaws of life towards the plane, and then later on coming back with those jaws of life from the plane. Quite a large response here. Immediately called out as a first alarm response. We have Phoenix Fire here, Scottsdale Fire here, Glendale Fire here. That's just what we can see from our vantage point here at the Scottsdale.
All right, I think we're live. What's everybody?
Debbie, I don't know if you can see that, but Icamel is saying two planes collide, Motley Crue, Vince Neil, one dead, one trapped, plane crash, Scottsdale, Arizona. So was this the band's private plane and the whole band was on it? Motley Crue? I mean, I don't know what they're saying. They have 5 souls. Well, that would be, well, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3. Ain't there 5 guys in the band now or something like that? And I don't know if that's true. I'm not sure. Well, it says right there in Icamel's, that's Icamel's channel right here. I was just watching a news channel, but Icamel is saying 2 planes collide, Motley Crue, Vince Neil, 1 dead, 1 trapped, plane crash, Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm trying to look and see what's going on. I got to look that up. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I just played you the newsreel that's out on the crash, but it's not saying anything about Vince Neil or Motley Crue. But maybe it was. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. Let's check and see if I can see anything else. Maybe Ickemel knows more. Maybe. Let me see here. I just watched this one. Let me see if there's any more. Breaking news: plane crash, Arizona. All right, let's check this one out real quick.
You far better than the news. Bethany, I appreciate you. Don't worry about it. In the future, university is going to get somebody boots on them everywhere. I'm going to get somebody to go to Palestine and cover that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. Just where we go. Let's see what we got here.
New information
Looks
as
like
it is
the
a
plane,
now deadly
the
plane
wing
crash and
went
accident in
through the other
Scottsdale,
plane.
Arizona. We're learning
One of the
more
wings.
information about this. These are some images coming in to our newsroom here on Live Now from Fox as a plane veered off the runway after landing at the Scottsdale airport on Monday afternoon, just about 2:40 in the afternoon. Scottsdale fire officials say 5 people were involved in the crash. 1 identified person was killed. 2 were taken to a trauma center. Another person in stable condition will be transported to a hospital later.
So
and
it
also
was
another
Motley
person
Crue?
still trapped inside the plane. The runway now closed for the indefinite future. Let's take you out to some of these updates from officials there in Arizona.
As we are working this live, very active scene right now, our thoughts and prayers are going out to everybody in the aviation community that this affects. Today, at approximately 14:39, we had a mid
So it was owned by Vince Neil. But it might be possible that Ickemel has more information. Maybe it is the whole band. Yo, Spencer Ashwood. Debbie, are you saying the plane is owned by Vince Neil? Icamel's putting out that Vince Neil plane crash, moon dead, 5 people on board. Well, after they got rid of Mick Marr, uh, did they bring on someone else? Because there was only 4 guys in the band. Well, the touring. So I don't know if any of this is true. Once again, we have no information that Vince Neil or any of the Motley Crew uh, was in the plane. So, no. So I'm not sure if that is true. Uh, make a note to myself to call the office and let them know that the light on the apartment next to me, the outdoor light is out. Replace the light bulb. So, Debbie, I'm not sure if any of this is true, but like you just seen, uh, we had Icamel that was reporting it, and 2 other news channels are reporting it. But Icamel's got the inside scoop, so I don't know if Vince Neil was involved or owned the plane or what the whole thing is. It could be clickbait. Why not? That's what they do to get views, right? Vince Neil's dead. Ooh. Everybody clicks in, right? They don't if Vince is on, or they don't know if Vince is on board. Uh, Not good. Oh, there goes a plane as we speak, flying over my my house. Good God Almighty! But we know this much. Uh, that the landing gear did not open. That plane seemed kind of low. I hope I hope our government is on the ball. What's going on? Did that plane make a U-turn or something? Hold on a minute. I think it was Lifeline. Straight from Arizona News. You got that straight from Arizona News, Deb? All right. Now, well, we just watched 2 news channels from Arizona, but they're not saying anything about Vince Neil even known in the plane, I don't think. I sent it to you. Oh, all right, Deb. All right. Well, thanks. I'm glad everything's working. You're all charged up. And aha. All right, Miss Debbie. Now I see it. Now I see it. Can I post that? I wonder if I can post that in my chat, Deb. Can I post that in my chat? I mean, it's just simple, right? For the people, the good people of YouTube to see. You want me to post it? I wonder if it'll let me. Hold on a minute. It won't let me. I think it's too big or. Hold on a minute. It's too much. She overloaded. Hold on a minute. Nope. All right, I'll just read a little bit of this to see. One person has died, 4 other were injured. Interesting. Let me get back over here. All right. Debbie, for some reason, it was too big and it wouldn't fit inside the chat publishing or public thing. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see to get any info out of it. I wonder if you can type up Vince Neil plane crash and get something. I don't know. I'll wait until this is over with. But there you go, folks. Another 2. Well, actually, it was just 1. From what the witness is saying, the plane's landing gear didn't come down and it slid into what they thought was going to be a building, but ended up being a plane, I guess. It looks like the wing, it either took the wing off or the wing went through the plane. Godspeed to all of them. And hopefully the ones that are in critical condition survive. And we really don't know if any of the band or Vince Neil himself was on the plane or not. One of my great mods, ones that's always here, is saying that Vince owned the plane, but they don't know if he was on it or not. So we'll have to wait and get more info on it. Oh boy! Hopefully he has insurance if he wasn't on the plane and right was renting it out or whatever, so he don't get charged with something else. I think they tried to charge him with doing something many years ago or something. All right, I'm going to end this video. I'll be back if we get more info on it. It's pretty dark out there, especially with that big overhead light that's usually on out there. Be a great night for flying a drone, but it's kind of chilly out. But it's darker than dark out there. That's what you deal with in the outskirts of town, country. Blackest of black. But it's peaceful, right? You ain't got a bunch of horns. 9 out of 10 chances. It's like the lottery, being that we live in a bunch of field and woods around. Good chance a plane will go down in the woods or farm field or something before hitting the small little town. But who knows? You got to keep your eye in the sky, man, because it's crazy. Right? Everyone's waiting for planes to fly overhead and little men jumping out and, you know, invading our country. I don't know. We need to stay focused, and accidents happen, you know, and machinery breaks down if it's not properly maintained. If it's not taken care of, it's going to break, and you're going to have accidents, just like in your car that you drive. Over time, parts fail. Nothing is 100%. I wish it was. It will be the day the Lord comes down. There'll be a glow around all of our planes, protected by God Almighty. That's when we know it'll be perfect. Till then, machines break, and the human mind and body will break. And I'm living proof of it. Now, I'll be back later once we get some more info, or maybe a nice, warm, peaceful fire with some, maybe possibly, I don't know, maybe some music or something. Debbie, can you hear me? Check 1, 2, 3. Can anyone hear me? Debbie, if you have a digital bidet, AI is going to take over it, and it will try and kill you with high burst, high pressure sprays. Mine almost killed me. I do believe AI is taking over everything. You folks have a great night. God bless. Keep looking to the skies. We hope Vince is okay in the band, but then again, maybe this was their calling to retire. Right? Some people are saying they should have retired a long time. Who knows? It keeps them going. Get them out there in the wheelchair. They'll sing it. They're still drawing some money. You folks have a great night. I'll be back.